world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the next film in my G.I. Joe series, Journey to Snake Eyes, and we're going to be talking about G.I. Joe Retaliation. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one, but because they brought in The Rock and Bruce Willis into this sequel, I was naturally excited for this film. So here are my thoughts on G.I. Joe Retaliation, starting with the good, of course. So personally for me, what I liked about this movie was that I just thought that it was a better a better movie than Rise of Cobra. And there's reasons for that. I just feel like that the story was a lot more fun, the character interactions were a lot more fun, and you understood them, especially introducing The Rock, as he is just this fun character to be on adventures with like this. And I just think that's very cool about this film, because, like, I mean, granted, he does the best job he could do, especially when it comes to the action side. I love him in the action side. I just feel like he's kind of being in a Fast and Furious film, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. But also, I also like how they kind of, bring back some characters, kind of make this story kind of like this ambush story, and then they have to find a new way to take this villain down, and then you bring in Bruce Willis, and he has this house that's just full of guns and weapons, and it's like, and then there's this little joke in the movie where it's like, now you gotta question your neighbors, like, because there are so many, like, Bruce Willis's house, like, has so many guns and bombs and weapons, like, this is crazy. Like, no man on earth would have this much weapons in a normal house. So, that's really the exciting part. And then, of course, I actually really like the action in the movie. I thought that the action actually lived up more to the original film, which the stunts and carnage scenes, I probably prefer the action in the original film, like the explosions and stunts in that movie. But the action sequences, whether it's hand choreographed, I thought that was great. And also, it had a pretty good relationship with teaming up Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, which, as you saw in the first film, they kind of had a little arc together, as they were brothers, stepbrothers, sort of. And they had this little journey, which hopefully we will explore in Snake Eyes, how they came apart. And it was kind of cool to see their little dynamic. Granted, we didn't get much of that, but, yeah. So, that's really all I gotta say about the good. Now let's move on to the bad, because there is a couple of bad stuff on this movie. Now, for me, easily the disappointing part about the movie is that as they were introducing The Rock into this movie, I was excited because if you've seen in previous action films, whether it's Fast and Furious, or whether it's Central Intelligence, he's known for being the best action guy, and he works as the spy action hero. But in this movie, it's kind of weird that the way he fits in, because, like, in Fast and Furious, when he's kind of like this soldier working for the military, I think he works better at that than he is with this, because he's, like, stopping. Now, obviously, G.I. Joe's basically kind of like the stuff that the Fast and Furious stuff do, and what he did in the Fast and Furious films as he was working with the government. But I just think he's trying to be in a Fast and Furious film, just a whole lot of stuff is different. Now, obviously, the jokes and the humor were similar to Fast and Furious, and they worked in the movie, but there was something about it that just did not work for me. And then also they try to bring back so many characters, whether it was Cobra or Storm Shadow, and I don't think that really worked. Granted, when Storm Shadow joined the G.I. Joe team, I actually kind of liked that because it reminded me of that team up with the X-Men and Magneto and Mystique in X-Men 2, which I actually kind of liked, as the villains are joining the good side. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun for good guys to change, for sides to change, for the fate of the universe or something. But there's some plot lines that just were not necessary, especially bringing Cobra back, as you're basically doing the same thing as he wants to start a war. And they just bring in this ridiculous plot. You don't really care for his story. And it's the same thing of what he's trying to do. He just wants to get revenge, and doesn't really get out well, and it's kind of forgettable in the movie, so those are really the problems with this movie. But overall, I think it's a more enjoyable film, and the film I would definitely go back and rewatch. But that's my review for G.I. Joe Retaliation. Before I give my final score, be sure to tell me down below, what were your thoughts on G.I. Joe Retaliation? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Were you right there between? I want to know your thoughts. And are you guys going to be watching this in honor of Snake Eyes coming out next week? With that said, let's get on with my scores. Alright, so that's it for my scores, as well as my G.I. Joe Retaliation review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6, my TikTok name is RomanFan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my battle section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as my Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.